Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Clwb podcast. I'm joined by Mr. Alex Knott and myself in the studio. A bit of a change from last week's location. We were in Clwb Sylvester Chellin's house last weekend and Jack Thorben's house, and now we're back at home in the studio. Today's episode is going to be covering the work-life balance debate. If you believe in it, some people don't. Some people swear by it. So you'll get to hear our opinions on this matter. It's one we spoke about in the car. We spoke about everywhere we go. We spoke about it to some professionals, which we've encountered recently. And I feel like it's a topic that we should discuss today. So work-life balance, that's on the menu today. Should you have a work-life balance? What is a work-life balance? What does a work-life balance look like? All of which we're gonna cover in this podcast. But this is our first podcast on the new table, if you can see this. It's the official Clwb table, which we're going to get more of in the future to have larger surroundings for guests. But anyway, let's get right into it. Work-life balance, Alex. Yes or no? Mr. Producer's on deck. I like this.
I'm gonna be throwing in loads of.
I like this, man. I like this little.
Yeah.
Set.
So do I. I don't like that. I can't put my legs in between the legs properly. Yeah, I can't spread my legs a little bit. If I spread them, the whole thing is going to break.
Man spread.
Oh, God. I'm going to be doing a lot of that today. It's quite funny, actually. So what are we talking about?
Work-life balance, brother. Come on, speed power.
Work-life balance. Yeah, so what do we say about work-life balance?
Well, I asked you yes or no. Should you have work-life balance? First of all, let's establish what it is.
God, I don't know. I mean... Firstly, yeah, again, we should just establish a few sort of contextual points. The first being, why would you need a balance in the first place? And the only real answer to that is that you need a break, essentially, from the working environment. If you need a balance, that means doing too much of that work becomes sort of strenuous, it becomes... stressful, you start hating your life and the people around you, which probably means you're not fully invested and fully in love with what you do. So there's that, and then obviously the balance. What is the life? What is life? Is life every minute you're not in work? Well, that would suggest 40 hours a week when not living.
You're just existing.
Yeah, you're working in order to fund your life. But shouldn't your life somewhat be constituted by the work that you do?
I think that goes back to meaning and what you said there about doing things without meaning. I think if you, like you said, if you have to work all the time in order to fund your life, then I don't really think that's living. I think that's kind of just an existence within a physical realm. Like we're like this ourselves. We don't really enjoy what we do outside of this.
No,
definitely not. But we're doing this in order to support the business that we have, and I think that is probably quintessential to our success. If we're going to succeed, we need to be funded by our jobs. But if we look at it introspectively, we don't have a balance. We're not. This is our life right now. If you look at our lives, myself and Alex, our life is wake up, work, come home, train, eat, sleep, race, repeat. I was going to say then, eat, sleep, train, repeat, and then it's the weekend, and then it's the time for our business to be conducted. So there's a question of, is that really a balance, or is that just what we have to do in order to succeed? And I don't really understand what I've never been a person for balance. I've always been a polar, completely in one direction, whether that's all work, no play, or all play, no work. And that's something we've encountered recently, with the Six Nations going on. It's the time period of going out drinking in the UK, and everyone likes to go pile into the pub to watch the Six Nations, which you can't blame them for.
Yeah, you're saying that like that's
a bad thing.
A bad thing.
No.
You shouldn't frame it as a bad thing. It's not a bad thing.
No, it isn't.
It's one of the most positive times of Welsh culture.
I agree.
Six Nations.
I agree.
And I find you somebody who isn't interested in having different parts to you. You just want to go all in on one thing. There's nothing wrong with that. But that makes work-life balance a lot easier because you just do what you want to do, and all of that is one thing. So there is no need for balance. You don't want to do different things in your life. You just want to plow all your time and energy into one thing. You know, I mean, but when you work, I mean, let's get back to the important point here, which is what work is. Because I don't think when we leave our jobs, I don't think work-life balance is going to be an appropriate way to conduct life. Because our work will be our life, and even when we're not working, we'll be doing what we would normally be doing in work anyway. It'll all be the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, we'll be filming, editing. Yes, it's our work, but it's what we want to do as well. So our life is our work. So the work-life balance, it isn't a balance. It's work plus life equals life. Like, it's one thing. It's not two things and a balance between the two. It's just one thing. The only reason we need a balance, as I said, is because you don't enjoy your work. And at the moment, if we were doing our jobs 7 days a week, we'd need time off because we don't want to do it. We do it for a paycheck, and we do it so that we can have money to live our lives, which is separate, apparently, from the work you do. People don't have a connection to the jobs. They don't have a connection to their work. I don't like that. It means you pick a job, and that's what we're programmed to be. We're set up. Life has been set up, and society has been set up by the Rockefeller Foundation. Actually, the education was set up to create employees, not creative thinkers.
No, I agree.
So this is why we get to this sort of understanding of work-life balance, because that's what we think. That's what we think we need. We think we need to work for money. We don't need to be passionate about it. We just need to be able to collect a paycheck at the end of the month. And then with that paycheck, we can do whatever we want with it. We're given the freedom to spend it on whatever we want. And that's the balance. You know, how much should you work and how much life should you have? But really, for employers, what they're thinking is, how much can I make you work so that you still feel like you have freedom and a life?
Yeah.
The 9-to-5 jobs are set up so that you're not supposed to really enjoy it. You're supposed to just about be satisfied enough with what you're given. It's the same as society, the cost of living. They keep people just free enough and just poor enough that they can't save and invest, just rich enough that they're not homeless, so that they have to keep going and turning up for jobs, that they have no other option. They haven't got savings that they've saved because they don't have the disposable income. This is how society works. Employers, governments, you know, whether you want to talk about higher up in governments, you know, the Rothschilds and all the elites. Hollywood probably run the world, I reckon. But anyway, that's not really a part of the conversation. But that's it, isn't it? That's what they want you to do. They want you to work and not really get much out of it. Only get just enough so that you feel like you have enough money that you can enjoy yourself outside of work. But what people don't do is try and find a career, find a passion that they love doing so that it doesn't feel like you're working. That seems to be rare, and it's not the conventional way to approach life. And I don't know why.
Yeah, I thought that was coming. I very much subscribe to that idea of that. If you know the saying, if you enjoy your job, or you know enjoy whatever you do for money, then you'll never work a day in your life. And I feel like that right now. And you know, in order to make this relevant to the fitness industry, I enjoy training. I enjoy not living in the gym, living for the gym, you know, the outside stuff that goes on with it, you know, the training, the nutrition, and I really enjoy that. And you know, people try to get me to go out and drink, and that's
honestly,
that's not something
I'd love to be able to get you to the pub. Maybe potentially I can get Matthew to the Colliers to watch the game next weekend. That's a potential.
Or England versus Wales.
Yeah, we'll come here and we'll work, and then I'll say I am going to the Colliers, and I'll get his car. I will move his car. And I'll say, I've moved your car. I'm not telling you where it is.
Guess.
And then Matthew will beat the shit out of me. And then I'll tell him where his car is. And then he'll go home. And then I'll start crying.
Yeah.
But anyway, there is potential, actually, for me to get you to the pub next weekend.
But I just really, I think I'm hyper-focused on fitness right now, to be honest with you. And we've both started a new period now where we're coached by Clwb. And he's got us on diet plans.
He gives you the female diet, though, the yogurt and the berries.
Yeah.
Gives you the man diet, you know, the oats, the old-fashioned oats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that for me now has given me a lot of hyper focus, and we both agreed this. It's dialed us in like.
Oh, seriously, especially because I mean I don't know how this is relevant to the question, but I'll humor it anyway. But you know, if I think of before that, I was wandering around life, not really knowing how to get in shape. I kind of did know how to get in shape. Like I know what to eat and I know all about the deficit and what to do and how much, how to split my macros. I can set it all up myself. But I don't know what it was. I think it might have been the commitment. And now that I'm with Clwb, I've got this hyper focus.
Yeah.
And now that I am coached by Clwb, to relate this to the point, I don't feel like I need a balance. I feel like I can do, because I was sort of, and if we're talking about work-life balance, we can also refer to the phrase work hard, play hard.
Yeah.
Because they say, the more you work, the more life, the more balance you should, well, I say balance, not the more balance, but the more play you should be able to have. I'm very much about that. I'd rather, go out once a month to drink and do whatever I want and spend $15K on a big fancy dinner, and then go to a cigar lounge and buy like a $600, Cohiba cigar, you drink some fancy whiskey, and spend more than people earn an entire year in like 5 minutes and then laugh about it afterwards because you could have helped somebody get off the streets, but instead you spent it on a bloody Cuban cigar. My point is I'd rather do that now and work relentlessly for 3 weeks, sober, perfect nutrition, training every day, not missing a beat, and then 1 day a month get absolutely, splurge out on everything. I'm not saying get hammered. That's not what I mean. I mean going out and drinking expensive wine, going out on a shopping spree. That's the work hard, play hard mentality I like, and that is important that we talk about that because that's a fantastic alternative and better way of thinking of the work-life balance for ambitious people, for young people now, because work-life balance was set up. Well, it's set up for the workers, for the
older generation,
and for the workers. But now we have people, where we have got young people who don't need to do a 9-to-5 lifestyle in order to be successful. There are side hustle opportunities coming out of your arse at the moment. We've discussed them. Matthew wasn't particularly interested in some of the ones I've suggested to him, especially the ones that require sort of technical skills, like we're using AI and stuff like that, and that's fine. But you don't need to work a 9-to-5.
No,
we've identified 10 to 15 income sources that we could potentially pursue, and live on that. I'm currently pursuing one. Matthew's going to head sort of another one, and we're going to work on both of them essentially together. That's going to be, paramount in helping us escape our job. But as I said, if I continued in my job as it is now, I would need a balance.
Yeah, I'm the same.
I'd rather work 16 hours per day for 3 weeks straight, not a single day off, and then 1 or 2 and have like a weekend at the end of the month and just go out and pop to London, pop to Monaco. Do you know what I mean?
You sound like First Man right now. That's literally
exactly what he says.
He literally says. He says people have the work-life balance sort of set up in their mind for other people. Well, why don't you just work hard for yourself, insanely hard for yourself, and then 10 years later you can go to Paris like that, and then you can fly to Monaco, and he's also related to becoming Mr. International, which I think is quite a cool concept. But I really agree with you, and I think that the whole work hard, play hard mentality is good, but you have to work hard first. You shouldn't think about the play until the work is done.
Yeah, maybe that's where I'm going wrong. Having the cigars and the whiskey and persuading myself that I do work hard. I work way
I will say you do work hard.
Person. And when I do work, this is something I've built up over a long time. I'm very efficient. I'm very systems based. So you give me a task, I will find a way to do it in about 15 minutes. I'll find a way to automate it. So the things that I can get done in a 24-hour period are above the majority of people, above you. But however, there is an argument for you being able to get more done over a long period because of consistency.
Yeah, there's always been that dynamic between
I know,
us.
but I don't think that's going to be there anymore because I think now I'm on it now. I think now that I'm being coached by Clwb, me getting in shape and me making more money and me getting out of my 9-to-5, I don't think I'm going to miss a beat. Yes, I will go to the pub now and again. Maybe you will get more done in certain things because I spread myself over different areas of my life more than you do. I'm probably more privileged to be able to do that. I've got more resources to be able to engage in different activities, which I'm lucky to have. Whereas you just put all your time and effort into training related things and our business.
It doesn't look like a bad.
If you take out the gym and Clwb from your life, what is left?
BJJ. That's probably it. Well, probably that
That's
counts as
gym
gym, doesn't it?
related. What about other than that?
I'm
Nothing.
struggling to think of anything, to be honest with
But there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not shaming you for it.
you. No, absolutely not.
You know, but again, going back to the work hard thing, I think if you, and again, as you were saying, you know, work hard, play hard. If you haven't worked hard, you know, should you be able to play hard if you haven't put the initial work in? You know, it's not necessarily about I've worked. It's like people who go to the gym, burn 300 calories, and then eat a Mars bar afterwards. If you're still 300 pounds, you're not at that point where you can start having Mars bars after the gym. You shouldn't really ever be having Mars bars after the gym. But if you're shredded, you know, you're just in a bodybuilding competition, you've been in prep for 16 weeks, have a Mars bar. You've earned a Mars bar.
Yeah.
But if you've gone to the gym, burned 300 calories, yeah, you worked hard. I'm sure you did. I'm sure you worked really... No, it's not about hard enough.
Okay.
It's about hard for long enough time. You haven't built momentum where you've earned that. When you started a diet, you can't immediately be having days off. You can't immediately be rewarding yourself for progress.
No.
You know, I don't think playing hard and, you know, the balance or the life aspect of your entire life should be a reward for work. I don't like that. But I don't think you should be able to work hard, play hard until you've got foundations in place where you can play hard and work continues in the background. You know, if we're building something, you know, and to quote Andrew Tate, I don't know what the quote is, I can't remember it, but it's about a rocket. As it's entering the atmosphere, does it pause halfway through the sky? No, it doesn't, because it'll fall back to the ground. It continues going. It builds momentum and it carries on. You know, we haven't got to the point where we've entered orbit and we can float in space. We're not there yet.
Yeah.
If we stop, we go back to zero. You know, if I have a week off and start smoking cigars and drinking, my diet falls off. We don't get as much done, and then we'll end up back where we were a couple of months ago. Whereas in a year's time, I truly believe this, especially 2 years' time, we're going to be in a position where we can go to London for a weekend. We may not go to London, or we can go to Dubai for a week and do podcasts with Thirst and, you know, Hamza. We can go and meet all of them.
The dream.
And we will be. In a couple of years, we will be doing that, and that's a guarantee. You know, use this as a clip, actually.
Yeah, no, watch.
Future Al, if you're you know, if you're not too big to engage in
your own stuff.
In your own stuff.
That's such a,
I meant physical size, by the way, not clout. But,
yeah, I like that thought about what you said about the whole Mars bar thing. And I think you do have to...
Yeah, you'd love a Mars bar, wouldn't you, you fat... Sorry.
Well, I have to deal with every day. But...
Oh, it doesn't stop. Sorry, I thought I was waiting for it to
cut the
stop.
opposition off. Use road mic sounds.
I love this. I got power with this.
I know, you're Mr. Director.
I know.
Now.
Does that just turn down my volume?
Yeah, you can't hear him anymore.
But can they hear me from that?
No.
So,
Speak.
right, okay.
You can't hear yourself through the headphones, can you?
No, my volume, yeah, okay.
My volume obviously isn't down on there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I can turn me off now. You can't hear me through your headphones.
No, I know. All right. Oh, interesting. Anyway, back to Mars
Sorry,
bars.
I'm gonna. I know this. Do you know what I've noticed? Every time I crack a joke, Matthew goes back to a serious point. He's like, "Anyway, don't laugh. This is serious. We're not allowed fun. Honestly, you're like a fucking fun sponge."
Work hard, play hard.
Yeah. Anyway, back to your point.
Yeah, back to the point about Mars bars and momentum. I really like that, and I think that building up momentum is in your life is one of the best things you can do. Because chances are, if you actually build up momentum, you won't want to break. Because if you say no, for example, like this, we'll use the situation with us getting coached by Clwb as an example. When we start to see results, we're not going to want to eat shit or eat. Not that we do now, but we're not going to want to go back because we're going to see the results and we're going to see the result of our hard work, and then that won't make us want to go back anyway.
It's not about that though, because I personally do like that. When it comes to diet, it's different. But with work now, when we start seeing success, no, I'm not going to start thinking we've made it. But
No,
I am.
you never think that.
But no, I know. But I'm not going to be like, oh, right, we can take a foot off the gas now, and I can start enjoying my life more and not working so long. That's not a great attitude. We're gonna have. That's where it matters the most, because that's where we can make it big. But when we do make it, to a larger scale, I am going to start enjoying myself. I am going to be traveling the world. I'm going to be going to see people and smoking cigars in different countries and, going to nice bars. I love that.
I like that as well.
I love the sort of New York City,
I've always wanted to live there.
like skyscraper bar vibe. I love it.
Yeah. Those
I honestly love it. Do you know the ones that you literally cannot go into without having money? Like this, the air there is at a premium. I love that, and I want to do that. I'm not going to be like Bill Gates when I'm going to drive a Honda when I'm a centi billionaire. When I'm a centi billionaire, I won't be a centi billionaire because I'll be spending all my money. I'll probably have 10 yachts when I'm a centi billionaire.
So you won't be a centi billionaire anymore. Do you know what what was really symbolic for me was when we went to the Bugatti garage.
Stood outside looking in through the glass.
I think it was the Ferrari or Lamborghini garage. I think it was Ferrari. When the Ferrari garage in London, and that we were stood there and we were looking at the cars, and the only thing separating us from those cars and that life was a thin layer of glass. And the only way that
bulletproof glass probably.
Yeah. Anyway, we're separated from all of our dreams by the thin layer of glass, and that glass is only removed through hard work. You can't cheat it. You can't smash through it because you won't get the car. If I smashed that glass, I could sit in the car, but could I drive it? No. I have to remove the glass through hard work, dedication, and staying on the grind, and not having balance. A truly successful person doesn't have balance until they're very successful.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. You can't work hard, play hard doesn't work at the beginning.
No.
When you're in grind mode, when you're starting to build something, I don't think you can just play hard. You can reward yourself for hard work, but within reason. Don't be a dick and spend £1,000 on a fancy
fiction VIP table.
No, on a fiction. Honestly, we need to take you to some better establishments. Fiction VIP. The fact you said that made me feel, honestly. Is there like a...
I don't think that's the right one.
Hang on, let me find a better one. There we go.
That's your type of...
There we go.
But no, you should definitely just grind. And to answer the question, should you work hard...
should you work hard? No.
Should you have a work-life balance? I would say... If you're at the beginner stage, absolutely not. Maybe even the medium stage. I'm just trying to. But
it depends what people are doing. If you're working a 9 to 5,
I would like to think.
Yes, you are going to need balance.
I would like
otherwise,
to
you
think
have no
that
life.
the people listening to this would have some sort of ambition and want to go somewhere with their life.
Want
to develop personally. Because this is not a podcast for people who just want to just stay the same and not develop. This is
Isn't it? I thought this was the Stay the Same podcast.
The Club Mediocre.
Club Mediocre.
No, Clwb Iron.
Club
if you're a listener of Clwb Iron, then you should have a passion for progress. You haven't heard this. This is the first time that we've used this term to you now, but it's not the first time that we've used it in the recording because we said this previous times to other guests. Yeah. But if you're a listener of Clwb Iron, you should have a passion for progress and you should want to get better. Because this is something that me and Alex want to do. If you watch our first episode, or listen to it even, you can tell we're not the same people.
I need to listen back to those first ones. I haven't, it's been a while since
I'm an emotional wreck in the second one, probably, I think.
That's because I broke you down with really,
it was
really
instant
intense
gratification versus long-term gains.
No, there was one where you were almost crying because I was just chatting shit about trauma and you were like, stop it.
But
I shouldn't laugh with that.
No, but if you're a listener of this, we want you to have a passion for progress. We want you to develop because we are trying to develop as well. And if I could encourage one person to just be better and get 1% better, then I would be happy with that.
Why just one person?
No, well, if for argument's sake, I would want everyone to be. But if I could just touch one person's progress and encourage them to get better, then that would really make me happy. Because this is our personal development as well. We're going to listen back to these in 10, 15 years, and we're going to be like, we were absolute kids.
Yeah, but you know what? Do you know what's important now? And I'm going to wrap it up with coming back to the question. If you've got a 9 to 5 like us, and your passion is not that 9 to 5, and you are actively working on something outside of that. Your balance is work balance. Like it's work, money, and then the when you're not working, it's work for passion. So it's sort of like money, passion, balance.
Yeah,
that's the way I like that. I think we should rephrase it: money, passion. For ambitious people at the beginning of their journey, the money, passion, balance. How much money do you need to that to get by, and how much time is that going to take you? Because time is more valuable than money. So you can't work 100 hours a week and work on your passion. You should be working maximum 50 hours a week, 60 hours a week, and then, grafted in the rest of the time. I struggle with 37 hours a week and getting time to do everything else, especially since I train twice a day now. Because for some reason, Clwb gives me cardio to do. Like,
Well, you want to lose fat. Why are you doing cardio if you want to lose fat? Isn't that for gaining fat?
I know, that's what I thought. I thought cardio made you fat.
And doing more steps.
Is that a myth then? Cardio makes you fat? It must be.
Yeah. I've never heard of cardio to lose weight. Or fasted cardio. Or
And
steps.
I thought steps added on fat as well, like in your arteries and stuff. It
Yeah, I
clogs your
heard that
arteries.
because your arteries are always moving
Yeah, I thought
around.
movement sort of clogged things up.
Yeah, so
It's actually, I don't know what's going on there, but yeah, I have to do cardio. So if I get fat, it's because Clwb has given me cardio to do. I've forgotten what my point was now, but I'm going to wrap up anyway because
money passion balance.
Money
That was
passion
your point.
balance, yeah. So the money passion balance is going to be well, I've just literally just come up with it, but it's basically the way we structure our lives now. We don't have, well, I do more than Matthew. It could be seen as a dedication thing, but I don't think I do any less work than Matthew on the business. I think it's just as much.
It's just different ways.
I just work on the things that I do very efficiently. I can manage my week quite well, and but the thing is, the point I was making is time is more valuable than money. So if you're going to work on your passion when you're not working for money, you need to understand that the time that you get to work on your passion is more valuable than the money you get from your job. So just cover your expenses plus a little bit extra, and then put time into building the business for free. Even if your primary business is selling products, you can still build a community, start like NFTs do. They build community and funds before they even launch the product. You can do that in advance. You can sell the product before you've even bought it.
Yeah, and just remember when you put time into your business, you are quintessentially investing in yourself. You're not working for free because you're making an investment for your future self. Like this will benefit our future selves anyway. All of this work for the business, and it's something I'm excited to see grow. But a little announcement to make: we have started making clips for people for social media purposes and repurposes. So we're going to be doing that. If you want to get in contact with us about any potential collaborations, let us know. The link will be in the bio. Mr. Knott, is there anything you'd like to add to that?
Yeah.
But anyway, I've been Matthew. Alex has been Mr. Director, Mr. Producer.
I know, I'm enjoying this. You probably can't see. I've got my little device here in front of me. It's controlling everything. I almost shut off the podcast then and knocked everything over. But yeah, it's my pleasure. Thank you for watching. We're trying to keep these solo ones short so that you can get through them, well, more
quicker.
Yeah, so hope you enjoyed. See you in the next
See you next week for an absolutely amazing podcast. I reckon we just keep this as the outro.
I can't do it.